There are some questions that never leave the mind no matter how much time passes. For me, it was always the same question. Why does love always hurt? Since childhood, I believed love was something pure and beautiful, something that brings peace, not pain. I grew up thinking that if two people truly care for each other, nothing in the world could break them apart. But life has a strange way of teaching lessons that no one wants to learn. The truth I discovered later was completely different from what I believed. Love is not always soft and gentle. Sometimes it is confusing, sometimes it is painful, and sometimes it leaves scars that cannot be seen, only felt. I met her on a quiet evening in a place where people usually come and go. Without noticing each other, I was sitting alone, lost in my thoughts. When she accidentally dropped something near me, when she looked at me to apologize, something unusual happened. It was not just a normal moment. It felt like time slowed down for a second. That was the beginning of everything. We started talking slowly without any expectations. At first it was just casual conversations, nothing serious. But as days passed, those small talks became longer. Then those long talks became a habit. And slowly that habit turned into something deeper. She had a way of understanding things without needing too many words. With her, silence never felt uncomfortable. Even ordinary moments started feeling special. For the first time, life felt lighter. It felt like I had finally found someone who understood me without needing explanations. And that feeling slowly turned into attachment. We shared dreams, fears, and memories. We talked about the future like it was already written for us. It felt like nothing could go wrong. There was a kind of belief growing inside my heart, a belief that this connection was meant to last forever. But life rarely follows the stories we imagine. At first, everything looked perfect, but slowly changes began to appear. Small things that were easy to ignore in the beginning started becoming noticeable. Replies became slower. Conversations became shorter. The warmth that once existed started fading without any clear reason. I tried to ignore it. I convinced myself that it was just a phase. Everyone gets busy, everyone has mood changes. Nothing is perfect all the time. But deep inside, I already knew something was different. One day, I finally asked the question I was afraid to ask. Is everything okay? There was a long silence. That silence said more than words ever could. After a pause, the answer came uncertain, unclear, and heavy. I don't know. Those words hit harder than anything else. Because sometimes the most painful answers are not no or goodbye. Sometimes the most painful answer is uncertainty. From that moment, everything started changing faster. I tried harder, I gave more attention. I tried to fix something I could not even understand properly. I thought love was something that could be saved if you try enough. But I was wrong. Love cannot be forced. Feelings cannot be controlled. And sometimes the more you try to hold someone, the more they slip away. Then came the day that changed everything. A meeting was arranged in the same place, where everything had once felt beautiful, the place where everything had started. But this time, the air felt different. There was no excitement, no comfort, only silence and distance. The words that followed were simple, but they broke something inside completely. I am not feeling the same anymore. There was no anger, no fight, just a quiet ending. And that is what made it more painful. Because when something ends with noise, at least there is expression. But when it ends quietly, it leaves thousands of unanswered questions behind. That night, everything felt empty. Memories started playing in the mind like scenes from a movie that can never be paused. The moments of laughter, the long conversations, the promises that once felt real. All of it suddenly felt like it belonged to another life. And the biggest question returned again. Why does love always hurt so much?